Alright guys, so we've rocked up to the Big Smoke down here in Melbourne, and this is where we're bloody going to. Raceway Motorcycles in Essendon. Bloody busy down here, I tell you. Alright, we'll head on in. Alright guys, so that was an absolute bust. I walked into there, and I suppose maybe I'm too honest. I thought when I rang and I spoke to them and I said I wanted to come down, test ride the Himalayan, and that I've got a YouTube channel and I wanted to do a review and stuff like that, that they understood what I was doing. But when I arrived there, I was pretty much greeted with, am I going to buy the bike or not? Me being me, I said straight up, well no, I'm not here to buy the bike. That's not to say that I may or may not, but that's not my intention. And so, I mean, and I understand from their point of view that, yeah, you know, they don't just have bikes there for anybody just to have bloody fun on or just do reviews or whatever, like he was saying. But, you know, I don't know. So we're now heading into Melbourne. We've come bloody from Bendigo all for nothing, but I'm thinking I might, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, well, I ended up sitting down and talking with him, and you know, he's saying stuff about, you know, maybe look at doing some stuff, but he wants to think about it and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, there you go. That's the deal. And that's the problem when you're too honest with people. I could have easily said, yeah, I'm interested in buying the bike and being able to jump on the bike and give you guys a review, but unfortunately, I'm too bloody honest. All right, we'll see what happens. All right, guys, so we've come down to Richmond to the Royal Enfield. This is MidLifeCycles. So that's them up there. So I was just talking to Michael in here when we're having a look at the Himalayan, and he's happy for me to do some filming and even actually jump on one of the bikes. I've told him what I'm doing. So check out this place. This is absolutely awesome shop. So they do service and repairs, and they do all the custom bikes and stuff. What do you reckon, eh?
Love it.
Yeah. Just an awesome shop. But why we're here is for this. It's the Himalayan, of course. So I've just been chatting with Michael, going over all the bits and pieces, and I'm actually really impressed with this bike. I mean, I'm looking at this bike and I can't see, like, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this is pretty good bloody build quality. I can't see anything dodgy with it. One thing I noticed straight away, you might have remembered me saying about the oil cooler needing a guard. This has now got a guard. So a lot of the stuff that we've been seeing is the Himalayan. A lot of the stuff is from the earlier bikes. This bike here that's arrived in Australia has gone through all that testing. All the modifications have been made to make sure that this bike is sweet. And that bloody oil cooler thing just shows me straight up that that's what's happened. If you look at any of the photos and all that kind of stuff, all the promotion stuff, that doesn't have it on there. So that was all the pre-stuff. I'm going to run through the stats again now that we can see the bike. So the engine is a 411cc single cylinder. It's a 4-stroke, obviously. It's air-cooled, has your oil cooler there. The tank is 15 litres. I think Royal Enfield say you get about 450 kilometres out of that. That would be obviously the best case scenario. Sorry about the motorbike strip. Motorbike shop. I love it. As I said, the front tyre is a 21-inch and the rear tyre is a 17-inch. They've both got your disc brakes, so very much the same as a DR650 or any of your standard dual sport type bikes. I love these crash mode. Bloody looks fantastic. So the seat, that's really, I don't know what that is, but that's, I've never felt a seat like that. That's really, really comfortable stuff. Comes with a bash plate, which I thought was pretty cool. The total weight of the bike is 182 kilograms, so it's getting that up there in weight. So a bit like the KLR 650. Obviously the DR 650 is 160 something, so it's heavier than that. But this is a shorter sitting bike. You know, your clearance here is 220 millimeters. The seat height is only 800 millimeters. So that weight is down a whole lot lower. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to sit on the bike and then I'm going to get Nay to sit on it. So I'm 6 foot, Nay's 5'6", is that right? She's behind the camera. There you go. So for me, really easy to sit on this bike, have a feet on, bent, no worries. So now we get Nay to sit on it.
Okay.
Look at that. So what are you? Your tippy toes, eh?
I'm tippy toes.
Yep.
And that's like fully stretched.
So how does that feel? Do you feel comfortable on it?
You know, I actually do.
You actually look good on it.
I didn't know whether I the whole tippy toe. Well, like I can bend my knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, compared to your bike.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
no, that's
this
right.
is,
So just kind of
it's actually really cool.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Michael? How does she look on the bike? This is Michael.
Well, I think the Himalayan just represents great value, and it's a lot of fun to ride. So for me, it's one that we now choose whenever we want to jump on one of the Royal Enfields. Himalayan tends to be the first choice. And, for getting around town as well as for heading out into the highway. Yeah, I think it's just a great choice for a whole range of riders.
Spoken like a true salesman, but he's right. So the bike is 6,990. That's in Victoria. That's drive away, no more to pay. It comes with a full tank of petrol. It's got 2 years warranty and roadside assist. I think it's up to 10,000 kilometres under that warranty. So that's pretty bloody good. The service interval for his first 500 Ks, and then after that every 5,000. I thought I'd seen somewhere that said it was pushing him up to 10,000, which I didn't think was right because that's just a bit bloody crazy. But yeah, it's your general service is 5,000 Ks. There you go. Ooh, test bike's just come back in. We might get on one soon. All right, guys, I'll stop this here. I think I've pretty much touched on everything. Nay's absolutely loving the bike and the surrounds.
Yeah, all of it, but the bike especially.
All right, we'll see you when we hopefully get a test ride of it. All right, guys, I forgot, Nelly. I thought I'd better show you the black one. I really like that white one, but for myself, I just can't go past the black. You guys know me. Apparently, we're up next. All right, guys, so I'm just about to do a jump on this bloody bike and do a test ride. I just wanted to show you the dash instrument. Oop. Now, did you hear that noise? That's when the stand is down. So if you put the stand up and then turn this on, you don't get that sound. Simple as. So obviously we've got our analog speedo, analog tacho, got a bloody brilliant fuel gauge, digital compass, and then all this stuff here. So you've actually got the gear selection, so you know what gear you're in, which is really good, especially for the new guys to bikes. You've got time, you've got ambient temperature, you've got your odometer, and then of course you've got your trip A, and I think there's a trip B. All right, guys, so here we go. Ignition. So it's that real pump, 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 pump.
Oh no, that sounds alright. So obviously it's 5-speed. Nay over there, she's just going to get me going past a couple of times just so you can see what the bike looks like. Oh, that's pretty smooth. There's nothing clunky about it. I was actually a bit surprised. Oh, yeah, pulling up. Beautiful test. Look at that. Pulls up. No worries, mate. So I can see I'm in second gear. That's really good. I know for when you're new to motorbikes, that's really good. I know with Nay and the Intruder and obviously the Posties and that, she, you know, without looking down, she can't see what gear. Obviously, as you get more used to the bikes, you just go by the engine. You feel it, you know what's going on. So I'm just going to come back and Nay can show you me sitting on it. Now, the one thing I first noticed, because I'm used to obviously other bikes, was how far back my feet are, but it actually feels comfortable. I don't feel uncomfortable on this bike at this stage. I've only just hopped on it, so... Oh, look, there she is. That's my pretty woman. See what the turning circle's like. Ah, no worries at all. So what we're going to do is, just up a bit here is the freeway, so I'll be able to get it into the 100k. Oh yeah, no worries. So sitting down, straight up on the pegs. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think if you were to set it up for yourself, you'd most probably get, I would have the handlebars forward a little bit more. But this is obviously in its standard set. Like any bike, you've got to set it to where you are. Possibly get risers. But so far this is pretty good. Oh, this bloody picks up when it wants to. Alright, now we're on the freeway. So I suppose I just got to gun it. So that's 80k. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, that's got all the oomph you need. I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's not, I don't know, it's not a 650, but bloody hell, that's alright. I'm well impressed with it. So the one thing you immediately find is that you are sitting in the one spot. Basically, you can move a little bit forward so that I'm sitting right down on the tank. When I do that, my knees do hit that part there, but you know, that's, I don't see that. But then when I sit back, I've still got plenty of room down there. So I'm sitting in third, doing 60k. Fourth, sitting on 80, because that's all I can do. Bloody hell, the big smoke, eh? Look at it, just bloody traffic everywhere. So now in fifth gear doing 100 k's an hour, and this is far. This would do 110, no worries at all. What the hell people friggin' talk about? Swear to God. And that's the thing, you got to remember, it's a 411cc and it's set to be torquey. So obviously when you're in the in the high end, so you're doing 100 k's and you want to pull it on, it goes, but it's not going to, you know, pull on like other bikes that are set up more for the high speed. But when you take those bikes into the low speed, you know, when you go off road, they just, you know, they're not as good as what this bike's going to be. Alright, I've got to look for a place to get off, I think. Oh, am I still in the 80? Oh. Alright, we'll do a bit of zipping around. Zipping around without getting killed by big trucks. Jesus. Okay guys, so I'm doing 80 k's. I'm just letting this bloody go back a little bit. I'm going to drop it down to 4th. What are we on? 4 on the tacho. Drop it down. Back into 5th. Yeah, that's sweet. What more do you bloody want? Yeah, how the hell do I get off this bloody road? Do this, like that. Oh my god, it rides like a motorbike. Oh, I don't even think, oh, there's the 100k zone there, but there you go. This bike will sit on 110 all day. You can just tell. The bike's not strained at all. Like, it's just going bop, 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 bop. Well impressed, I think. Well, I don't know whether I'm biased. I had high hopes for this bike, and so far, there you go, I'm in neutral, so that was no different than the bloody DR. In actual fact, I think it might have been a little bit easier to get it into neutral. Yeah, I'm impressed. That was my biggest thing, was will it do 100 or 110 easily for when we're doing those big long stretches, and I'm telling you, this thing will do it, no worries at all. Now I've got to find my way bloody back to the shop. So the windscreen was fine. Obviously, it's very similar to the DR650, but a little bit better. It seemed to, you know, you still got obviously wind, but a little bit better than the DR650. That's the only thing I really got to go against, to compare against, is the DR650. I wouldn't compare it against bloody the Boulevard, obviously. Totally different bikes, totally different windscreens. I think, yeah, that's it. Just got to turn around here. What a lovely day for a ride. It's just a shame it's in Melbourne. So I'm really, guys, I'm really impressed with Midlife Cycles. Michael was absolutely awesome. Loved their shop and all the bikes. They've obviously got the workshop out there, and when I was looking around, they've got a lot of custom stuff that they do, like the, is it the DS or Juice, or however you pronounce that? So if I look at my little digital thing, what am I doing? I'm heading west, or is it telling me west is that way? So I must be heading north. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I'm just sitting here watching stuff. I've got bent knees, feet flat on the bloody ground. No worries at all. I don't feel cramped in the bike. Don't feel cramped in the bike at all. The seat, I think, is pretty much regular now that I've been on it for a little bit. It's comfortable. It's way comfortable than a stock DR650. There's no two questions about that. Yeah, crazy. Well, that was interesting. It really felt like the back brake braked better than the front brake. The back brake really seemed to pull me up. Can't complain about the handling of it, the turning, the stopping. I mean, I don't know, it just feels like a good all-round bike. You know, if you've got a DR650, you know, you're not going to look at this bike. Although, I would look at this bike. Isn't that funny? I've got a DR650, but I can understand most people, you know, you want that extra power and a bit more grunty, whatever. But if you're getting into the adventure stuff, or wanting to get into it, or into a motorbike with the thought of going adventure-y, I mean, this is a great bike. I mean, even for just cruising around these streets and stuff, this is, you know, if that was majority of the stuff you did, but you wanted that option that you could go off-road, I mean, I can't see anything wrong with this bike at all. I have no idea where I am. I'm going to pull over at some stage and get some directions to get back to the shop.
Head north on Melbourne Road towards Scottsdale.
So something I didn't talk about, and that was the vibration. There's no vibration. No more than any other motorbike, whether it's a bloody, I reckon, the Boulevard would have a little bit more vibration than this thing. Yes. Yeah, vibration, nah. When you think of Himalayan, don't think vibration at all. The gears are smooth. I thought I might have had trouble because some people had mentioned about it being a small gear shifter. Obviously, I'm just in my regular boots, so that's most probably helping. If I had up my bigger boots on, there might be a bit of an issue. But obviously, that's a simple solution to lengthen something like that. But I'm not having a problem. I'm doing the gears, no worries at all. They're not being clunky or anything like that. Everything's just working smoothly. The more I'm riding this, the more I'm getting surprised by it. I had high hopes for it, but obviously in the back of my mind, I had all these, you know, thoughts that, oh, it might not be what you thought it was going to be. But so far, it's you know, for the price of what you're getting. And as I've got to keep saying to you guys, this is, you know, as an entry-level motorbike, not for someone that's already got themselves a DR650 or a KTM, or this bike's more to the people that are getting into it. Alright, I'm going to shut up, guys. I'm going to see you back at the shop. Back at MidCycle. And remember, this is not clearly this is not a sponsored thing. That's the first time I've ever met them or met Michael. First time I've ever been in their shop. As it stands at the moment, yeah, what a bloody great place to go. Very nice people. All right, I'll see you back at the shop. All right, guys, so clearly I'm not back at the shop. By the time I got back and had a bit of a chat and whatever and looked at the time and went, holy crap, we've got to get back to Bendigo to be able to get the parcels out to the post office from the bike fit stuff. So there you go. That's the bloody Himalayan, or the Himalayan, whichever way you want to say it. I reckon it's fantastic. I reckon it's a bloody ripper, a ripper bike. Like I keep saying, it's an entry-level motorcycle. If you've got your BMW, your KTM, your KLR 650, whatever, and you're already set up, that's what you're going to have.
But if you're looking to get into the adventure stuff or getting into motorbike riding, I reckon that's a ripper bloody bike. Now, I didn't go cover everything like the suspension. It's got your normal bloody suspension on the front. I think it's 220mm travel. You've got your monoshock on the back. I didn't get a chance to be able to do it off-road. There was certain little parts where I was turning around when I was trying to find my way back, and I was going over lumpy bits and pieces. I didn't even think about the suspension when I was riding the bike, so it didn't feel stiff, it didn't seem over soft when I did the braking, it didn't dive or do anything like that. It really just felt like a great overall bike. It's only a 411, but as you could see, like when I first got on that bloody freeway, I mean, it just gunned it, no problem. It did what I wanted it to do. And yeah, my biggest thing was the travelling. The bike's going to be able to go off-road and do all that. You know, whether you want to go doing big jumps, that's just that's not designed for that. You go and get an enduro bike or a dirt bike for that. You know, even your big KTM bloody 1190s, you see them jumping them and all that. But you know, Brendan's got one of those, NERB 1. And like he said, you start breaking stuff when you do that. You know, the stuff that you see where the Chris Birches or whatever, you know, they've had their bloody suspension changed and modified, or things break and they get them bloody fixed back up again. So, and that's like even the DR650. There's limited amounts of jumping and, you know, that type of stuff that you can do with those bikes. So I think media and stuff like that kind of like portrays certain things a certain way. That's like, what's that guy? There's another guy that does really cool photography, Riemann 1 or something like that. Moto, I don't know. You know who I'm talking about. He does those really cool stuff. But he's really good because at the end of his videos, he shows where he's set it up and he's failed on certain things. That, you know, he's going along logs and up and over, but he shows that it's all staged, it's all set. He's done it a few times. I'm most probably rambling now, if you know what I mean. Now the other thing is, the only thing I suppose is the reliability of the bike, and I can't tell you what that's going to be. A lot of the stuff that you see, like I was sent when I did that little bit of a review a couple of weeks ago, was sent articles from newspapers and stuff like that. You know, they're going, oh, the Himalayan's breaking. You know, and they show the photo of a bike that clearly was in an accident and the front of it snapped. Well, that's not a maintenance or a problem. That's just newspapers bloody grabbing some article and wanting it to, you know, everybody go, oh my God, You know, it's a bit like when they say, oh, Bendigo's flooding. Well, it's a street down there that's flooded, not Bendigo. So you can't really rely on the media stuff. What I've been doing from when I first saw the bike is it's the guys on the street. It's the guys that buy the bloody bike, it's their bike, and they're riding it. They're the ones that you want to listen to. And of course, the more different people that you watch, the better understanding that you get of the bike. It's no different than when you go to a forum to figure out something. There's lots of people, and as we know, everybody's got their own different bloody opinions on things. But the more people that you see, and the more of their opinions, you normally get a glut of the right average type of thing. Again, I'm rambling. There you go. So I want to say MidLifeCycles down at I think it's Cremorne, but Richmond in Melbourne, and especially Michael. He was bloody fantastic. Look, I pulled into that first place and just got out of there, and I was just so pissed and bloody pissed off. I don't think you don't need to be confronted with that when the first time you walk in. I mean, mine was a bit of a different situation, obviously, but to be able to then go over to MidLifeCycles and then be greeted by Michael and just telling him what I wanted to do, and he had no problems with it whatsoever. He was bloody top bloke, he was. All right, guys. So now I'm looking over here and I'm thinking, Jesus, I've already actually spoken with him. I said, geez, we should sell the bloody Intruder. You're not bloody riding riding it, you know, getting the use out of the bloody thing, we'll sell that and we'll bloody buy one of these Himalayans. Because that'd be perfect for her, but it also, I have the benefit of mucking around with it and riding it and whatever. But I've got my daughter's bloody wedding coming up in about a month's time, where of all places she's having it is at Hamilton Island, which has been hit by a hurricane, tornado or whatever. So things are all up in the air over there, but I want to get past that, and then I might look at, I reckon I might buy one. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the review. Sorry about the audio while I was on the bike. It was because I had the bloody MX helmet. When you hit over the 80Ks, it just gets distorted. But anyway, there you go. Cool. Keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on bloody keeping on.